Oh shit. So several days ago, wrapped up the last batch of marching band competitions and festivals where I currently reside. That clip you just saw was me losing my shit to the University of Hawaii band, which is always a treat to go deaf to. So with the ending of this marching band season, has me wanting to talk about my experience with band, or my introduction to band, since I was writing out notes for this video and I noticed that it was getting pretty long. So yes, sorry to inform that whoever's watching this video that I'm a band kid. I thought it was funny to do memes on my instrument. I look back at some of the things I did and I wonder what the fuck was wrong with me. But to be fair, I do that a lot, considering that I just do and not really think. But we're getting too ahead. Let's move back. So, before band, in my freshman year, this is like 2016, and I knew fuck all about music classes. The only thing I knew about music is that it existed and that it sounded good. I mean, I had played guitar beforehand, and I did take lessons, but the biggest challenge I had to worry about was the tab to Enter Sandman, so yeah. And plus the lessons were mostly about playing the instrument itself rather than like music theory. But in retrospect, if we did learn music theory, I thought that would have been pretty cool. But that's what YouTube videos about music theory is for at this point. But the main factor about why I wanted to join band was probably one of the most common reasons any high school loser would want to do something they've never done before. It was because of a girl I liked. I liked this girl, and then she was in band, and I don't want to go into too much details of it, but basically I decided to join the marching band next year, as well as the intro band class, but that could probably be for something else I could talk about. And it's not to say that she was the only factor in me joining marching band. There were a couple people in the band I asked about joining, and they said I should do it, but come on. If I like the girl, that was the main reason. God damn, the things people will do to please their crush is astonishing. She wasn't even in the marching band too, by the way, so the main reason I joined wasn't even participating in the same shit I was. But anyway, I find my way getting into the marching band with no experience. And then I decided to join the intro band class to get some experience. And I was ready to become the band rookie of the year. The instrument I decided to play was the saxophone. More specifically, the alto saxophone, for you fucking band losers. I remember before thinking about what instrument I wanted to play and learn, I can only think of the ones a normal person would come to mind of, like the trombone or the trumpet. I actually remember in middle school, a friend of mine told me that the trumpet would be easy because there's only like 3 valves on there. Trumpet is not fucking easy, I'll just say that. I didn't even know what a euphonium was beforehand. You know what a euphonium is? So you're probably a fucking band nerd. Or you watch that anime about band. I was also heavily considering the trombone, but eventually I settled for saxophone because it was apparently the easiest instrument to learn. So skipping ahead in time to the summer of next year, I began my lessons on how to learn saxophone with one of the upperclassmen. And surprise, surprise, I fucking sucked at it because I have no experience with band whatsoever. I could barely make a note, and if I did, it would sound like super loud as fuck. I didn't know how to control my ear and all that shit yet. It was very embarrassing, especially when it came to playing with everyone. The thing with band instruments is that there's a lot that goes into it to make it sound good. It's like the mouthpiece position, your embouchure, which is basically like how your mouth is positioned on the mouthpiece, as well as your breathing. Wind instruments are really keen about how good you are at blowing. Pause. So anyway, I was eventually able to figure out a little details of playing a saxophone thanks to the upperclassmen, helping me to where I could play somewhat decently. Still wasn't good, but if the band wanted to play a G note very loudly, I was that kid. Bruh, learning the instrument was one thing I had to worry about. I didn't even mention the fact that I was some inexperienced rookie in a sea of band veterans. I knew a few people beforehand, but they were usually in the band room, and I just started getting into bands, so of course it wouldn't really cross my mind to enter the band room. In my notes I put the Forsaken Lands of Weirdos and Absolute Chaos. And I did enter the band room a little when I decided to join band. but I felt like I didn't belong yet. And plus, the guys I was hanging out with were not fucking band people. They were the high school kids I'd go home and play Call of Duty with. They ain't worrying about no band. They worrying about getting high rounds on the Giant. Or something like that. But a super sax bum and the fact that I barely knew most of the guys there was pretty intimidating if I say so myself. Were they welcoming though? I'd say yes and no. I've heard from my fellow marchers at that time that they were pretty skeptical about me because it's a dude who didn't know shit about band going into band. So it's kind of understandable. Didn't help that my playing during the first few practices sucked, so that probably backed up their skepticism. I remember this one time at a football game, I overheard someone saying my name, and then I could also overhear someone replying to hearing my name by saying, "Who the fuck is Garrett?" Like, who the fuck is Garrett? And I was like, oh. But then again, that didn't have anything to do with my playing. It's probably just because I was new to band, so obviously no one in band that I didn't know prior know me, so... But dang, that hurt a little bit. But then again, since I started this channel, no one fucking knows who I am. I have like 3 videos up and like 1 subscriber, I think. Holy shit, I have 2 subscribers, let's go. YouTube superstardom incoming. But I knew that I wasn't gonna be dog shit forever. I decided that I wanted to prove all my doubters wrong. And I want to be able to pull my own weight with the big boys. I also wanted to make sure that my chances with my crush would increase, and ain't no way she's gonna like a fucking quitter. So I did what everyone should do if they want to get better at something. I practiced, baby. So I took home my sax with the basic fundamentals taught to me by the elder saxes, and I figured out how to play music given to us so I wouldn't be making the bounce sounds like absolute poo-poo. Quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, dynamics. You band kids already know what the fuck is going on. Eventually I started getting the hang of most things, and it was pretty much uphill from there. After getting the basics down and learning how to march, the season was starting to get underway. We're learning music for football games in the show, and I'm starting to bond with my section of woodwinds. I played sax meme songs with some of the friends I made. Yeah, we thought we were so funny back then. At first, I really felt like I didn't belong in the marching band, but eventually over time, you get used to the people around you because you've been seeing them so often, they start to become friends, basically. And it's not really 100% of the time. I got close to my fellow sax players, but only some clarinet and flute players were also classified as woodwinds if you didn't know. And plus, the size of our high school band was considerably small compared to other schools, so maybe that's why it was easy to break the ice. If they're willing to be friendly with you and vice versa, there's almost no reason for you guys not to become friends. Maybe unless you go to practice being lazy and complete ass, then maybe they have a reason not to like you. However, if the right criteria is met, eventually over time you get used to the people around you, and they hopefully should become your friend. Maybe get close to them as well. I would know, because at the end of the season, we do those senior speeches, and I basically cried because I knew I was gonna miss the band seniors. Yeah, I knew I was gonna miss the people I met that year, and all the fun experiences I had. Sometimes the shit you do are just as memorable as the music part of a marching band. Speaking of the musical part, joining marching band introduced me to a bunch of banger shows. Like, god damn. There were so many other schools around the island that were popping off. It was so cool to experience. Like watching UH this season.
Let's fucking go! Go Bulls! Let's go!
When it came to our shows, I feel like we were doing good for ourselves. Like, I can be satisfied with a good chunk of our shows. But it wasn't cream of the crop type level of band, if I want to keep it real with you, Chief. And yeah, we could have done better with some aspects of our shows. But overall, I had a really fun season with my first year in marching band. And that's all you could really ask for if you aren't in super ultra mega kill mode when it comes to competitions. The struggle sure was struggling, but the fun times were extremely worth it. But yeah, this is just me talking about my intro into anything band related. I might talk about my seasons after that in another video, but I've noticed that this video is getting kind of long, so, and I need more content to make on this channel, so we'll see. I shall just leave this as my introductory arc, into becoming a band kid. Or a former band kid. I'm not really in band right now. I'll just leave this as my introductory arc into the wacky world of becoming a band kid. Make sure to practice. Maybe the first year of marching band were the friends we made along.